Maybe not every movie in the Star Wars universe is the best, but sometimes things could have gotten worse. Much, much worse.
You're fulfilling your destiny.
If you're a rabid Star Wars fan like me, you probably know all these alternate endings and storylines. If you're not, I am so sorry for what I'm about to do to you. Number 1. Obi-Wan doesn't die in A New Hope. Peter Mayhew shocked the internet. Okay, maybe that was an overstatement. He shocked Star Wars fans when he revealed recently that Obi-Wan actually lived through his duel with Vader in one script. A script reveals that Obi-Wan would manage to get into a huge hangar and trap Vader in an access tunnel, essentially putting a heavy blast door between them, which seems to be Vader's weakness. So Obi-Wan basically takes Luke's move in A New Hope. Luke then gets Obi-Wan to the ship and they escape. So why would this alternate version have not been as great? Well, Obi-Wan's sacrifice for Luke is a big part of his character arc. All in all, Obi-Wan sacrificing himself makes so much more sense for his character. Of course, it could have still made sense if they altered his backstory, but Also, remember that Luke losing his mentor forces him to go on a ton of adventures and missions to find out more about the Force and the Jedi. Yeah, I'm sure he would have had some really cool adventures with Obi-Wan, but there's something inspiring and intriguing about Luke trying to find his own way and figure out how the Force works. His doubt, his confusion, his enthusiasm make for epic stories. Number 2, Rogue One, Carbon Freeze. If you've watched some of my Rogue One videos, you know that I just hate this ending. It's so dumb. Just so dumb. So in one version of the script, Cassian was a double agent and planted by the Empire into the Rebellion. Eventually, Cassian, who believed the Death Star didn't actually exist, discovers the Death Star isn't a rumor or propaganda and will be used to cause mass destruction and loss of life. Believing he was on the wrong side, he would then switch to the side of the Rebellion. Then, a stupid ending happens. After they get off the planet and are pursued by Vader, Cassian gets everyone in an airlock and sets off a carbon freeze bomb just as Vader destroys their ship. Vader doesn't detect life, and he moves on to go after Leia's ship. They planned on explaining why Jyn, Cassian, and friends weren't in the original trilogy was because they were stuck in carbon freeze, chilling in space. Whoever came up with that ending, slap your wrist. Right fucking now. Number 3, C-3PO destroys the Death Star. This one just weirds me out, but maybe I've just spent too much time reading stories with C-3PO in it. So in this version of the original Star Wars script, the Death Star is spiritually powered by the dark side that is called the Bogan Force. Okay, yes, given if we had all grown up with the Bogan Force, it wouldn't seem weird. But it still seems weird, right? It's just not me. It's a clunky name. So in the script, R2-D2 and C-3PO go to a desert planet to find Luke Starkiller with instructions from Luke's brother to take a kyber crystal to their legendary Jedi father called the Starkiller. Luke eventually finds his father and his rebel friends on the forest moon of Yavin 4. The rebels discover they can destroy the Death Star through a small thermal exhaust port without stealing plans, and then the battle to destroy it begins. In the end, C-3PO, who's manning the guns, gets the shot off that destroys the superweapon. And I'm not bashing C-3PO. If you're into the other canon besides the movies, you know 3PO has had some pretty badass moments, and I love almost every single one. But thank you for not having him be the one to destroy the Death Star. There was just something magical about Luke becoming the Golden Boy and getting instant fame from being the one to do so. Number 4. Vader isn't Luke's daddy. I know, I feel like everyone has heard this alternate storyline, even if they absolutely hate Star Wars. So when they made the original film, they actually weren't gonna have Vader be Luke's dad. This makes sense when we consider what Obi-Wan said in A New Hope. Vader betrayed and killed your father. Then he backpedaled and sounded like a total asshole when he did his whole from a certain point of view thing. So what makes this version not so great? What makes Vader not being Luke's dad kind of shitty? Well, to be honest, the fall and redemption of Anakin Skywalker is a fantastic story, and don't Don't go to the prequels. Look at the other canon. Watch the Clone Wars. It makes Anakin so much more likable and tragic watching him succumb to the dark side. Vader being Luke's father added one of the biggest reveals in cinematic history. It is a reference still used everywhere. It blew people away in the theaters. But not only that, following this family, and I hope we continue to follow the Skywalker family, has made for some incredibly powerful stories and themes. On the other hand, would it have been cool to see Vader with a different backstory and motivation for being the Emperor's lapdog? Maybe. Number 5. No Luke, too much Luke in The Force Awakens. We almost got it both ways, and I know there's a joke in there, but I'm not gonna touch it. So in The Force Awakens, we almost got no Luke. The film was going to end with a close-up of Rey. Cue fans rioting and burning down Lucasfilm headquarters. In another version, Rey actually meets Luke while on the road, space, whatever. They scrapped that idea when they realized Luke would overshadow the other characters they were trying to get people to love and become invested in. Which I completely understand. Who gives a shit about Rey when you have this super powerful badass Jedi running around? You know, I changed my mind. I don't understand Disney. I want this version. More Luke. Much more Luke. Please? So I want you to let me know in the comment section down below, which version did you actually like? And which version do you just absolutely hate, just like me? Thanks so much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe for more Star Wars videos.